Hello everyone, Andrew Collishaw, homeopath and naturopath, and a warm welcome to this week's Body Talk newsletter. Now, if you've been listening to the news lately, you would have heard about the outbreak of bird flu in China, and there's been, at least one person who's been infected. Now, of course, this raises a whole lot of alarms for public health because some years ago, of course, we had an outbreak of bird flu where it was transmitted to humans, and of course that is the big fear that we've got now. So in today's Body Talk, I want to talk to you about how we can actually help to do two things. How we can help prevent the susceptibility that we may have to contracting something like bird flu. Now, in order to do that, we need to look at some more common examples, and we'll look at influenza, the common old flu, which is a really good way to give us insight into how infections affect us and how we can approach that from a naturopathic, homeopathic perspective. So I want to give you lots of things to think about, some very practical tips to follow so that you can help to minimize the onset of infections, the flu specifically, and how we can begin to deal with the very serious life-threatening threat of something like bird flu. Now, you can have a read of what I've written here for you, which will give you some very practical steps to follow. And there are indefinite numbers, indefinite ways that you can actually be promoting the health and healing of your own body. But I just want to talk to you about some key aspects of that. And one really, really important factor is, and I've spoken about this before, but it's that important, it's worth talking about again. You've got to be looking after your health as it is in the here and now. So, for example, if you are getting a cough or tonsillitis, it doesn't even have to be related to the respiratory system, which the flu often is. If you have some sort of illness that's going on, if you have, for example, chronic arthritis, or if you have digestive problems, some sort of problem that's affecting your health, then that's the sort of thing that's going to make you that much more vulnerable or susceptible to contracting something like, say, for example, a bird flu strain or influenza in general. So another way of looking at that is, if you're as healthy as you possibly can be, you're physically robust, mentally and emotionally you're balanced, then you're going to be less likely to contract various sorts of infections. Now, for example, the immune system is going to be more ready to work and work well when physically, mentally and emotionally you're in a better shape. Now, many of you will have come to the clinic for some massage bodywork treatment, and that's fantastic. But that's a really good example of where you can actually be doing something for yourself that's going to obviously feel good and attend to some muscular aches and pains. But at a deeper level, it's going to be addressing more broad-term health and prevention issues. When you're more relaxed, when your body is carrying around less stress, then your immune system is going to be working better. So something like a massage or a series of massage treatments, bodywork treatments to address musculoskeletal problems, or simply for relaxation, this can have a significant positive effect on your ability to ward off illness and disease. So it's something worth considering, something as simple and as easy as having a good bodywork treatment. So come on in, make yourself an appointment if you want to. Of course, you're very welcome. But also, going for a walk, doing some yoga classes, taking the time out on the weekend to actually leave where you normally live, go out of town, go into the mountains or whatever. Doing these sorts of things can be really, really important. So one thing that we don't focus much on is the mental emotional side of our well-being and the role that this can play in terms of prevention and dealing with something like bird flu. If you think about it, a good example is if you're particularly stressed and you're very anxious, then it's easy to imagine that you're going to be more susceptible and more vulnerable to catching a flu that's going around in the office. If you're working late hours because you're under incredible pressure to get to meet deadlines, then again you're going to be more susceptible and more vulnerable to getting infections. So this can all boil down to what's happening mentally and emotionally for us. So for example, if you are working really long hours, there's a place and a time where we've got to stop and think, okay, why are we doing that? What are the motives behind that? And does that reflect a balanced outlook? Now, look, of course, we all burn the candle at both ends. I do the same. But there is a time and place for that, and we need to pull back. We need to listen to our bodies and our emotions and what's happening mentally as well. So one important factor for today's Body Talk is to have a good think and a good feel about what's happening emotionally for us, and are there ways that we can bring about a better balance. Now, of course, in the clinic we use homeopathic medicine primarily to help achieve this. Herbal medicine, nutritional medicine also plays a role as well. So we've got these options to help bring about a balance, because that's what we're talking about. When you're in a balanced state, then you're going to be better able to deal with the environment, the stresses of the environment, and that includes infectious disease. Okay, a lot to think about for this Body Talk newsletter, and I want you to spend some time, work out, okay, what changes can I make? What can I actually do that's going to help me to prevent, to ward off infections like the flu, and if ever bird flu breaks out and affects humans in a big way, we need to be doing everything we can to help protect ourselves from that. So I want you to be doing some things now. So have a read. I've got lots of ideas there for you. And the big important thing is, for today, I want you to think mentally and emotionally. What can I do that's going to bring about more of a balance, that's going to help me be more prepared to be able to deal with infectious agents? All right? Okay, we'll look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye for now.